Hi guys. We are arriving today at Tesla store in San Diego, California, at Tesla UTC to take our first test drive of the new Model Y. We'll be one of the first to take a test drive of Tesla Model Y launch series here in San Diego, California. And let's see how the experiment goes. Well, that's the car we'll be driving. So you guys can see the new headlights here. These large LED lights. The orange lights underneath. The long front headlights on the front of the car, which looks really cool. The back too. It has all this LED lighting in red, showing the contrasting with the logo. The Tesla logo, there is a Lausch series badge as well, which is very similar to the Model 3 performance. And now we're going to drive the car and see what happens. How will be this test drive? Well, leaving the parking lot now. Let's see what configurations we have here. Let's take a quick look. I can see all the cars on the map here. Also, people, apparently nothing has changed. Everything is the same as the other Teslas, like the old Model Y. One thing you can see, you can hear it in the audio. The car is so quiet, with no noise. This is very noticeable. Comparing the old Model Y with the new Model Y launch series. The car does not produce hardly any noise inside the car. I'll even stop talking for a while, for you to understand and hear the noise when I speed up the car, and the noise from outside the car. Opening the car window now. You can hear all the outside noise. But now I'm going to close the window. And then you'll hear that the noise stops immediately. Closing the window glass. Well, suspension has now been bounced. I'm in sport mode. But the suspension does not do that in the Model 3 Performance and the new Model 3 Highland. This street is a known place when we leave the mall parking lot. Now we're going to drive around, and there are some street here, which are quite deserted. Not many people. Then we can accelerate. I turned on the Joe mode to reduce the noise of the turn lights. The turn light sound is loud. And let's feel the car. It speeds up well. This one speeds up a lot. This launch series, it has the acceleration boost package. He's very fast. It's not as fast as the Performance, but he's very fast. It is dual motor. Now let's stop next door and let's wait for the cars who are behind us. And we can accelerate from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, which is 0 to 60 miles per hour. And let's how the car behaves, how the car accelerates from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, or from 0 to 60 miles per hour. Still passing the car. Let's turn on the turn lights. Wow, that's fast. It gives you a chill in your stomach when you accelerate. Not as strong as the Plaid and the Performance, but the car is very fast. Just opening glass again. You can feel the difference. It's a lot of noise outside. With window opened, like a regular car, but when you close the window, no more noise. The car is very similar to Model 3. Accelerating again, the car is very fast. It's really nice to speed up. I don't know if it's worth all the money. What this car costs, comparing Model 3 performance. But the car is very fast. The only thing I find strange are those suspension bounces. When we go through a depression or on a speed bump in the street, the car jumps. I own the Model 3 Performance, and it doesn't jump like that. And the Model 3 doesn't jump like that either. It has the latest software update, latest full self-driving version. The only difference is that it's in sport mode. I'm going to change the steering wheel here to standard. For soft, I was able to accelerate to almost 80 miles per hour on the avenue. And for now, the car is behaving very well. Now you've passed another depression. The suspension, it got a little better, softer. The sport mode maybe changes the suspension mode. But no, it's bouncing again. The suspension bounces a lot. That's strange. A different thing in this new Model Y launch series is that Tesla returned the turn light stalk is no longer the buttons. They removed the buttons in the Model 3 Highland and the Model 3 Performance. We have the buttons only. I much prefer the buttons instead of the stalk. Once you get used to the button, is much better than the stalk, but they went back to the stalk. In this new Model Y launch series, let's see if Tesla will continue with this stalk in the next models. In the regular models or not. The car's steering is very smooth. Let's stop here to back up, and we can watch the front camera. And now parking the car, we can watch the cameras. Something interesting here, look at the front camera now. That front-facing parking camera is pretty cool. An interesting thing about reverse parking, which now has labeled, we don't have that in the Model 3. But in the Model Y launch series we have, it is labeled left and right on the camera's view. The definition of the camera is so good. The front camera too. The camera resolution is good. You can see everything. And now I can show you up close. You can see it written, left and right written. Model 3 does not have this written. And now giving the car a once-over. I have the warning light on, so you can see where the warning light is, right? It flashes yellow, that's good, not red. The front part, not even the back flashes yellow. It also flashes on the camera in the door detail. Now here's something interesting about the tail light. If I'm not mistaken, it is exactly just like the taillight on the Model 3. And Model 3 performance. If I'm not mistaken, it's the same taillight. Then I'll make a video comparing both Model 3 Highland and Model Y launch series taillights. The wheels are the same. The Model Y launch series is the same car. Tesla just gave the front and back a facelift. If you can see now, pressing the brake, you can see all the lights on. The turn lights, flashing yellow and brake light red, with the red light also on top of the rear window. And here you can see the inside the car. It's very similar with the inside of the Model 3 Highland. The LED detail of Model 3 compared to Model Y is different. This headrest, it is a wide backrest. The Model 3 headrest is not the same. You can clearly see the speakers. It has a white seat. This part is leather. The LED part in Mode 3 is over the whole door. The Model Y, is it only 3/4 of the door? The console is the same. The console doesn't change anything. The front seats, the center console and the front console are exactly equal to Model 3 Highland. Nothing has changed. There are some different details on the car. So here you can see the stalk. And a few different details from this launch series. But apparently the car is the same as the Model 3. But it's a Model Y. As you can see, the wheels are the same. And the front is very pretty. I think Tesla got it right. On the front of the car, and the rear is pretty cool too. The rear camera, where the trunk opens, Can you see the middle headrest? It is very wide. This is cool, because in the Model 3, we have a small headrest. And here he is very wide. I like that headrest. The trunk space is also quite large. Every Tesla has this deep part in the trunk that you can fit a handbag in as well. Closing the trunk, you basically have no noise. When the trunk is closing, it closes so soft. And now look at this animation they created, which is only available in the Modelli Launch series. So cool. Another thing that's only in the Launch series. This label, the small car icon here is different. It is the new Model Y. That's pretty cool too. And now look at the menus. The dynamics. We have chill and sport. The steering weight. So far, there's nothing different. Charging. Everything's the same too. There's nothing different. No different message. Autopilot. There aren't any either. Lock lights are the same. We can turn on the LED lights. Let's changing the lights for you guys to check them. Red, orange, green, purple. This seat's config is new. It came in the new updates. You can move the seats so you can fold down the back seats. You can turn on the heating. You can block the door. Everything by the screen. There's nothing different about the display. There's nothing different. There's nothing different about the safety. There's nothing different about the service. The software config, you can see the badge. There's nothing different about the navigation either. Trips, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, nothing different. This marking on the door handle, we can't see it in the Model 3, but we have it in the Model Y. So this is pretty cool, that at least you can know that button is the button for you to open the door manually.
No, I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
The car sounds
never
very
slow up. No, I don't take
Very
shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna
No
hate
distortion.
this, I'll always show up.
I turned
and
the
make
sound up a lot.
statement. I don't
The car sounds great. And here's an angle for you to check. The turn light stalk. You can check that. There is nothing on the stalk. No buttons. Nothing. Only the stalk. Perhaps Tesla has received too many complaints about the turn lights by buttons and returns the stalk. In the Model Y, I particularly like the buttons. Now let's check the back of the car. There is a light that you just have to touch on the light as if it were an airplane light. And there's also a piece where you can put a hanger. Then you just press the little button on the side. It opens and you can hang a hanger on it too. This part is really cool. Well, that was my review of the new Model Y launch series. So cool, I enjoyed a lot. I hope you enjoyed it too. It was really nice to go for a test drive. And I hope you enjoy the channel. Share the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much.